Hello everybody and welcome back to Airport CEO. Today we're going to be doing a proper tutorial on how to start an airport and how to make money right off the bat with an airport. So we're going to be starting out here. We are not on sandbox mode, however we do have the large map enabled. So the very first thing for any airport that you're starting, you should be building some GA, general aviation. So to start out, the first thing you need for a general aviation airport, we need to go to contractors. So first we need to sign a construction contract or a contractor contract. Now you can kind of look at the two options here. So 120 maximum with 6.7 hourly fee. That's way better than the other one, which was like $10 and only 67 contractors. So definitely got the right one. Contractors will arrive by bus, but first we need to deploy them. I don't use contractors that often, but we'll go for the max because we want everything built as soon as possible or as quick as possible. So first thing we need is a runway. So the cheapest one to go with is a grass runway. Now you can kind of decide where you want to place the runway. So you can decide if you want it vertical or diagonal, or not diagonal, vertical or horizontal. One thing to keep in mind is the further you place it away from where your stands are, the more taxiway you'll have to build, so the more money you will have to put into it. So we're going to build it relatively close, but first before we do that, let's lay out our stands so we kind of know what our layout's going to be. So we'll place it 6 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is usually a good amount. And then we're going to place our runway. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 15. 15 squares. So there's that. Then we'll build our two endpoints, or runway turnoffs. Or not turnoffs, exits and entrances. Then we're going to connect them. So we're going to build our taxiway for small aircraft. A good ratio is a 5 wide. You always want to make your taxiway width an odd number, because if you make it an even number, then you're going to have extra on each side. It doesn't look aesthetically appealing. So an odd number, and then your node will go right down the middle. So one single taxiway, one single runway. That is our starting. So we will be back once they get that built. All right, so we are mainly built now. Actually, we just built everything. So the next step that we need to run the airport, we need to build a vehicle checkpoint. So what a vehicle checkpoint will allow us to do is pass vehicles from landside to airside. And what that means is our vehicles will be able to come from the non-secure areas or a public road and be put right onto a service road. So we'll place it right there, and then we will build a service road. Oh, we can't build it on that side. That's okay. We will build a service road that goes down to the vehicle checkpoint. Build it there, perfect. So our service road is going to be built. I don't think vehicles are able to pass through there. However, I could be completely wrong. We'll see. So our vehicle checkpoint will be built, and so will our service road. The next thing that we need to do is build we can either build a garage or a service vehicle parking lot. I personally like to build the parking lots to start out because you don't start out with a whole lot of vehicles, and a garage is expensive. So we'll build the parking lot there, and we will start the road. So there's the road. Awesome. So there's that, and then what we need to do now is build our fuel depot. So we only have avgas available to us, or aviation gasoline. So we'll build one of those, and we will get our vehicles on order. So we only need one type of vehicle for now. We need a avgas refueling truck. So let's order. We only have 5 stands. Let's order 3 of them. Should be enough. And then we also need to sign a fuel contract. So the fuel contract, aviation fuel suppliers. Oh, we need to build that first. offered. Okay, so we could choose from one of these. So 40,000 liters per delivery at $1.44 or $1.44 a liter, 20,000 for 155, or 20,000 for 153. I think Avifuel is the best price, so we're going to accept the Avifuel contract, and they will automatically deliver to our tank. So our tank's only 30,000 liters, so we don't need to completely fill it up, which is a 40,000 liters, which is good. Awesome. Now, one last step we need is an air control tower. So we only have the small one right now, so we're going to place the small one. I usually like to place it kind of in the middle of the field because chances are we won't be building anything here for a long time. So that's a good place to kind of set it down. Oh, we need to build the tower first. So the tower is going to be built by our contractors. There we go. Now we can open the runway. Stands are open. Now we can open our airport. Allow general aviation, and we have 100 LL avgas service, or 100 low lead. Awesome. So there's that, and let's do a little time lapse for our first couple flights. All right, so we got our first couple aircraft through our first night. And as you've noticed, our contractors here are still there. So we're probably going to be building now, but if you weren't building for a little bit, always dismiss them because that is a large expense. Because we're paying, I think, $6.7, so that's 600 and something dollars per contractor, which is quite a lot, $800. $800 an hour for contractors, which is quite a lot. So always send them home if you don't need them. But we are going to start building something new. So we're going to be building our starter terminal. So every terminal needs to start with a foundation. So we'll do that now. So we'll build our foundation. So our stands start there. So we'll start a terminal there. Now we don't need a huge terminal to begin with. Probably 14 by 14 should be enough. I don't like to build a huge terminal just because it's an unnecessary expense. And we'll place our doors. So I like to place doors two kind of squares apart. So do there, and then that's good. Then what I always like to do is build a sidewalk at the beginning, usually four wide for a passenger terminal. And then we can build our public road. So we can demolish these and replace them, but we're not going to do it just yet until we need the space. So there's our bus. Build 2 car stops and a taxi stop. Actually, that's going to bother me. And a taxi stop. Perfect. You notice that I put spaces in between them? That is because we are going to place some sidewalks in between. It's more of a future thing when we actually like want to build like huge parking lots and stuff, and like more transportation options because it will give us a lot more space. So we'll build there, and our road is connected. We got a cow. That's not a good thing. So to stop the cow, we need to build a fence. So we'll start the fence line if I can find it. There we go. So the good thing about the vehicle checkpoint is it actually has like a fence line thing in it, like a fence line stop or end. Um, we are a secure. Yeah. Go. Uh, yeah. There we go. There's a little part there, but that's okay. So yeah, there we got our fence, and we also need to build fence gates. That's another very important part to building the airport. So the fence gates allow contractors to get through. So we always want to build them like kind of near where the ends are, or where the contractor like drop off places. So there's that, and then we could build our crosswalks as well. So our crosswalks will allow passengers and crew and whoever to walk across the road like that. And then we'll build two parking lots. Um, yeah, one and two. Then we'll take our public road, connect it up to our parking lots, and then we'll build our sidewalk that goes all around the parking lots. Notice how we put it all around just to give passengers the shortest walking time possible. There's that, and we should be good. So we'll wait for all this to build, and then we'll come back once it's all done. Alrighty, so that is all built now. One thing that we have to do now, I kind of modified this a little bit, took out the parking lot, just put a fuel vehicle depot in. Even though I said that I personally don't like to do it, we're gonna do it anyway. And we're gonna reconnect the fence because it was bothering me. So there we go. So we got our fence done. We have our terminal done. Parking lots, drop-offs, everything like that is all completely finished. One thing that we are going to do is we are going to connect the public road that goes around. So it's kind of like one big loop. You never want to have two like prongs. You always want to do loops with public roads. Make it a little bit more uniform, make it a little bit more realistic and easier to navigate. So there's that. Now we can build our stands, our I don't know how many we're gonna make, how many we could fit in. So we'll build one, two. Yeah, we could build a third. We'll extend the terminal a little bit like that. We'll take out this wall because that will be that's the one thing I don't like about the terminals here. They always mess up the walls. Because like if I place like two foundations separate, like one here and one here, there's going to be a wall separating them. So I personally don't like it, but it's just part of the game. Then we can reconnect our service road. Again, making loops. There we go. All right, so now what we can do is we are able to start our terminal, the interior of our terminal. That's a PZ24. That was just put into the game too. So distracted. Um, so we can start our what's inside of our terminal. So, ooh, first what we need. I totally forgot that we have to research that stuff. So, where is it? Where is it? Operations, R&D. So we need administrators to research stuff. So we're gonna build a little staff room. So let's build this. This wall right here is going to separate secure and non-secure areas. And we'll leave 6 for 2 security checkpoints. One more. And then that's perfect. So now what we could do is we could build a little staff room. So we'll build it like here. That's going to be our staff room. Nothing fancy, just something to do. And we are going to build a little room that's separate for administrators. I don't know if we can put yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to have to go. We're going to have to build 3 separate staff rooms because they don't allow you to do like irregular shapes, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. And then we're going to take our staff and we're going to place computer desks. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 should be enough. This one's going to be for administrators only. So now we can hire our administrators. Administrator. So got to be really careful here that we don't hire anybody that's too expensive. Like 34 bucks an hour is way too expensive to start out. 13 bucks an hour isn't bad. I'm not going to hire these 5-hour ones because they are too low. 6 hours. 16 bucks and 18 bucks. There we go. So we got our administrators and we can start the R&D project. So commercial license we do need to start. And we got 3. Oh, do we have 3 at the airport? Did I only hire 3 administrators? I did. I will hire one more. 40 is way too much. 17. And 4. Awesome. So there's that. Now we just gotta wait until that R&D project's done. So we will be back. Alright, so our commercial license research project has completed. You do get an email kind of showing the new things that you have to worry about. So we got to worry about secure areas, baggage, all that fun stuff. But we do get some more options down here. So security is unlocked. So the big thing that we need to do is create 2 areas, secure and non-secure areas. Non-secure areas are already assumed, but secure areas are not. So we're going to extend that a little bit just so it kind of straddles the wall there. Perfect. Oh, we might have built one too many, so we'll just put a wall there. And we also need a secure area exit. So we'll build that right here. Now wait for that to demolish, wait for those to build. So these planes only carry about 6 or 7 people at a time. We can actually adjust that. So if we go down here to gameplay settings, passenger per flight ratio, we could actually slide that. So we're going to slide that to 75% of the actual capacity of an aircraft. So we'll do there, and we need to make our secure area exit, which we'll place there. And then security, boom. And what I always like to do just to make it a little bit more realistic is put walls on either side here, just to kind of bump up the realism a little bit. Then we'll extend these 2 lines. Don't have to extend them too much, but we'll extend them, I think that's what, 8 blocks, or 8 squares, so that's perfect. So there's done, that's done. Now we need to build our check-in areas. But first we're going to start with our boarding desks. So we'll place 1 boarding desk. You have to place them 1 tile away from the square, or from the wall, but they also even come with crosswalks. So we'll wait for them to be built, and then we can actually connect the stand. While we're waiting there, we can connect the taxiway nodes to the taxiway there. Wait for them to be built, and now we can connect them to stands. So once we connect them to stands, a hole will be put in the wall to allow passengers to enter and exit. what we need to do is we need to set these to commercial, so no GA. So we just did it there. So there's going to be a GA aircraft that's going to park there. We're going to kick them off because I do not like having GA aircraft on my commercial stands. Perfect. So now GA aircraft won't park there. Need to repair the runway. Runway repaired. Awesome. Boarding desk set. Now we need to do check-in desks. So check-in desks right there. Always build one check-in desk per stand. That is my golden rule. So we could even build check-in desks right here. 2, 3. Just in this little corner. So we could save space. We'll wait for them to be built and then we'll be good to go. Notice that they don't have any baggage receptacles. That's because small check-in desks aren't able to handle baggage. If you wanted to, when we upgrade to baggage and we wanted to use it with a small stand, we'd have to get a medium desk. Or use the automated desks once we get the automated R&D project. But for now, we do not have them. We do need security officers. I believe there's four positions available, so we'll hire 4 security officers. Security officer. You're okay. You're good. You're no. You're no. And we need one good one. Perfect. And we also need passenger service agents. So let's hire. I think we should hire 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we also need ramp agents. We'll need quite a few ramp agents. So we'll just hire whoever comes along. Because I think we need 3 per stand, so that's 369. I think could be 2, but we'll see. Now we'll extend these queues a little bit, give passengers a place to queue for the check-in desks there. Perfect. So there's that. There's that. We're almost ready to open this airport for commercial use. The next thing that we have to do, or one of the last things we have to do, is place some seating down. Now, you don't have to do it right off the bat. I personally like to because passengers will complain, which brings your rating down, and it takes a little bit to kind of work it back up. So I usually place seating right off the bat. I usually place it all along. Then we could place some trash cans so our airport doesn't get completely filled with litter, which would be a bad thing. And then we'll place some there. Perfect. We also got walkolators too. Those are pretty cool. Awesome. So there's that. Our airport is really close to becoming functional. I think one of the last things we have to do, we can enable ramp agent service, and we can look at a contract. Airlines. So you have all these airlines available. All of them have the same price. That's the big thing to remember. No matter what, an aircraft price is going to stay the exact same. However, the only thing that really differs is their rating as well as what kind of aircraft they fly. So we can choose depending whatever we need. So if we look at Havana here, they fly 1900s, which is pretty cool. And they are a 3-star airline, which is great. We can also look at Strata Regional, which flies a Saab 340, which is 36 seats around there, and Havana only flies a 1900, which is a max of 19. So if we want bigger aircraft to start out with the small, we can start with Strata Regional, which I think is what we're going to do. So we'll sign with Strata Regional. And then they're going to be our operators. And then one of the things we have to do before we can accept commercial aircraft is select this runway for commercial flights. Boom! We are almost done. That's all good. That's all good. Now what we need to do is start scheduling some flights. Wait for that to load. So Strata Regional hasn't offered us any flights yet. And notice we can't do night flights yet. That's another research and development project, R&D project. Which if we go over here, if we want to keep our airport progressing, we can start a bunch of different R&D projects here. Um, Personally, I think we should start the jet fuel or jet A1 because that is what the Saab 340 would take realistically. So we'll see if it mimics that here in game. Still haven't offered us any flights yet. Might be a while. That will pop up with a little green thing once flights are scheduled. But we're going to wait for them to offer us some flights, and then we will be able to start commercial service to our little airport here. One of the things I did forget is that right off the bat, we will need to build stuff like bathrooms. So small bathrooms, usually you only need like a 5x5 grid. I always build two to make it a little bit more realistic with male and female bathrooms. Build a wall down the middle. And we build two doors. Perfect. And we can build like a female bathroom, male bathroom, and then we could get some sinks going. Hair dry or hand dryers. Perfect. So that's gonna be our male bathroom. That's gonna be our female bathroom. That's perfect. They still haven't offered us any flights yet, which kind of sucks. But they're gonna build the bathrooms there. Oh, they completed the jet fuel project, which is always good. So we do have jets coming in, so we can actually build the jet fuel tank. So build the jet fuel tank there, and then we're gonna order, let's see. I think we ordered 2 jet fuel trucks just to start out. So bathrooms are started and bathrooms are opened. And what we're actually going to do, we're going to mimic that on the other side. So we're going to build 2 more 5x5 bathrooms. We're going to take this little copy paste tool, which is very important to know how to use. Because if you're trying to make stuff like bathrooms or whatever, it does save you quite a bit of time, which is always good. And we can mess with the flooring a little bit, make it tile floor like you would normally find in a bathroom or airport bathroom in general. Boom. So we are almost ready to be accepting flights. Once Strata Regional offers us those flights that we can schedule, we will be good to go. So it turns out Strata Regional may have just been bugged or whatever, but I took away the contract and replaced it with Maple Express. And they started offering us flights right away, so we're just going to take it there. So our first flight arrives at 1300 hours, which is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we will pick it back up then. So our passengers are starting to arrive. We do have a couple of them that are coming in for the flight to Rockford. So they'll all check in at one desk. I kind of wish we were able to use multiple desks for the same flight. That would make things a lot more realistic. But for now, it's just one desk per flight, and then we got our 2 security checkpoints, even with our seats, bathrooms. Very simple terminal. Can actually place some vending machines here just to keep them happy. Let's drink one, and there's a snack one. Still got a little bit before our flight comes in, so we'll put that on high speed to wait out the time a little bit. And then we'll get going. One thing that we do need to build as well to start out is a small weather station. You can wait to build this. I always built it straight away because it allows us to get a more accurate read on weather. And will alleviate a lot of problems in the future. Same with windsocks. We want to place those for realism. There's our first commercial flight. Cessna Caravan. Awesome. So don't know what stand they're going to. I think it's the first one here. Yep, the first one there. So they will park, offload. Passengers will go through the security exit and go out into the terminal. The incoming passengers, they will arrive, check in, security, and wait, and then they will board. And that is kind of the life cycle of the aircraft or the commercial aircraft. So there we go. That is the end of our tutorial. We went from having nothing to building a fresh, new, brand new airport. Started with GA, did all the amenities, and then we moved to commercial, did all the amenities, and now there's just room to grow. So in the future, we'll go over medium stands and then more advanced services. But to start out, this is the basics of what you need. The only thing that this game that makes this game a little bit more difficult than say other games is that the hourly income fluctuates quite a bit. So it's not like a game like City Skylines where you're gonna have like a set amount. Like it's not like it's going to be like, oh, this building is $200 an hour. This building's blank an hour, right? Or like a weekly budget. This economy in Airport CEO fluctuates a lot. So you're gonna notice that you're gonna be at negative for most of the time, then you're gonna have a huge plus for positive, and then you're gonna go to negative, and you're just gonna keep going back and forth between green and red. And that's just because when things are sold, they're sold like intermittently. So like when we refuel an aircraft, it's going to be, uh, $1, $1, $1, $1 instead of $100. It's just gonna go one, 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 one for 100 times, if that makes sense. So we will see you next time on Airport CEO. If you guys have any suggestions, do not be afraid to leave comments, and we'll see you guys soon.